Okay, everyone, can you make sure your cell phone is totally off? Because there's nothing like being in a deep space and hearing and there's nothing like being that person who has to reach into their pocket and turn off their phone. Funny story, true story, I had done this whole song and dance I just did about the cell phones, and right in the middle of Saint Germain taking everyone through a deep meditation, it was my phone. It's the truth. It's the truth. How's that? I just had it in my... There we go. Can you hear me back there? So there's floor space up here. If you guys want to come up in floor space, there's lots of floor space. And also, those in chairs, if you have a foot in front of you, back up half a foot and we can get more people who can sit down. You with me on that? No? Oh, there's too many people.
We can go on shoulders.
I think we may generate a lot of love for this hotel today.
You're in a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Combination of a small room and energy. I feel like a church.
Okay. All cell phones off? Let's all take a deep breath. That's okay. Take your time. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. So my name's Ashamarae. And while they're moving on, introduce, this is Angel. This is Germain. Donna, Angel's wife, is down at the booth. Naraini and my two sons, Bodhi and Noah, are in Massachusetts. And Lakshmi is there in Massachusetts. And all of us, except for Angel and Donna, have been living together for the past 2 years as a community. And Donna and Angel recently joined in a more hands-on way. So I'm just going to share briefly about how this came about, and then we'll get on with it. Yeah, oh, we have a baby, wonderful. No, stay. Children are a gift to a group. Master said, when there are children present, honor that because your inner child has chosen to be there too. And they are representing that for you. So, yeah. Oh, please come in, come in. There's floor space up here too. So we still have floor space. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because, frankly, it's just a story. I used to not tell any of the story because I didn't feel it was necessary, and then I had many people before and after ask me, and I've had several of you that I know which ones you are asked me the story, and I said I'll tell some of it here. First, I want to share that we are all co-creating this together. There is no Saint Germain awakening from within, Ashamarae, and you. We are co-creators of every reality. We already know this. This is, Abraham has covered the gambit of you create reality perfectly. So there's nothing to say about that. Yet, is throughout the next 90 minutes, if you find that you are really having a wonderful time, congratulate yourself. For you. It'll be until we're complete. And if you find that you're feeling any challenge, honor your creation. So I like to just say thank you. There's still floor space up here in the front if you want to.
I just want to sign up for a personal session and come back later.
Okay.
You'll be slammed in 5 minutes, so yeah.
So there's floor space. Come on in. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you for being a part of my reality in this moment. Because you're all a part of my reality right now. And whatever happens today, I'm grateful you're here. And I don't know you. I don't know your story. I don't remember most of your names that I heard. But I know in the heart we're all in that same place. And in the heart we're all family. We're not separate. So from that space, I say thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for holding space for all of us, each one of you. So my grandmother was a medium. My mom was a medium. My mom held groups in her house. So that reality was quite normal for me. I didn't know that it was a not so normal reality. And I started inviting my friends to meet Father Sebastian and my mom. And then they told their parents. I didn't have some of those friends anymore. And my mom had to say, for a little child, you can't tell everybody. And I didn't understand why. Little did I know that not everyone was into having their parents' bodies taken over by spirits. So I started training with my mom's spirit guides at 22. I did that for about 2.5 years, and then I went on my own journey with drugs and clubs and my 20s. Anyone ever have the 20s? Yeah? They were great. I wouldn't take them back for the world, even though I was quite hungover at some of those 20s.
How old are you now?
I am 40. Yeah, I'm 40.
Did you have a normal name before you changed it?
So we'll go into
Okay, sorry.
questions, because that will spiral, believe me.
What's not normal about his name?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, his name's Robert, Kildare.
So let's all take another deep breath. And then I met one of my first, some of us, that one person who was pivotal. We met, and they were the bridge into a whole nother part. So I met a little Jewish woman named Ortelia who really changed my life. And I met Red Feather she was channeled in early 2000. And then Red Feather said, we will work together for 5 years. And I thought I was done with channeling. I wasn't really interested. And I had been married at the time for 13 years when I met Red Feather. And meeting Red Feather changed everything. In meditation one day, a master named Yogananda and Red Feather appeared before me. And it came out of a deep frustration because I just couldn't seem to go deep, and I was getting really angry. And it wasn't working. And 3 to 4 weeks after that, after they appeared, well, in that moment, my heart really opened. And 3 or 4 weeks after that, I left to go with my personal training business, my house on the beach, my nice new car, my 13-year marriage, and something compelled me to leave it all, which I did, and went on a long journey, and channeled Red Feather for about 5 years, mostly in England. And then one day, Red Feather said, "Our work is complete." Now, for those who don't know, channeling a benevolent being, a master being, is very intimate. They move to the cells, they move to the emotional body, the mental body, the physical body. It's a love that is extremely deep. So when Red Feather said, "We're complete, I'm going," I said, "No, you're not going anywhere. You're staying with me." And he said, "No, our work is complete, your work is with Saint Germain." And I said, "But I don't want to work with Saint Germain." And I really didn't want to work with Saint Germain, because the idea was like channeling Bono. Everybody knows Saint Germain, and I said, I don't want to be another one of the list of "I channel Saint Germain and I have a message for you" type thing. I wasn't interested. Because nobody knew Red Feather. And there was no story there. So people could just come and we can bathe in love and light, and support happened and lives changed. But then all of a sudden I went to hook into Red Feather and he just wasn't there. And that was a really tough moment. I cried and cried and cried for weeks because he just wasn't there. I knew he was there. He let me know I'm here, but not in the way that we were so into each other. It was over. And it really taught me how attached I was to this form of spirit. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I got attached to Saint Germain anyway. So. And it took about a little over a year. I was going to the Casa di Dom Ignacio, where John of God does his work, to do healing on myself, because I was heartbroken. And I sat down in meditation and said, "All right," called Saint Germain, said, "All right, what do you want to do?" Because I'm being told, I got told by another psychic, she said, "He's picked you," Red Feather said, "He picked you." I said, "It doesn't matter. What do you want?" And he said, "I want to show you something." I said, "Okay, what do you want to show me?" He said, "I can only show you through the direct experience of it." And then he went silent. Talk about hanging a carrot. And so one day I said, "All right, for those, channeling's no different than deep prayer. It's just about surrender and letting go and letting God." So I opened up and said, that was 3.5 years ago, and now I'm totally in love with Saint Germain. And he said, "We have an 11-year contract to work together. We're in year 3.5, and it's been a very interesting ride. We moved to England, did work there, moved back to America, did work there, moved back to England, did work there, moved to Greece, did work there, and we just left Greece 2 weeks ago, and all of our stuff is on a boat, and we're sitting here." So,
Welcome to Los Angeles.
oh, thank you very much. So some key points for today. Breathe.